What is up, Retromaniacs? Welcome to Short Prints. I'm Mike. That's Joe. That's EP. We're here to talk about cards. This week, I have a pretty unique little episode for you. We're going to talk about odd and unique ways to collect. I took to Twitter this week and started a conversation. I wanted to know different odd PCs that people had, and I have a list of a bunch of them here. I'm going to go over
Lots of
these.
research today.
I did. I am very well prepared. First one, guy's name's Paul from Twitter. He collects goalies wearing equipment that don't match the team that he's playing for. I thought this one was really cool.
I love that.
Yeah, like he showed a couple pictures of the cards. I think he said he had over 200 cards.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that's pretty unique with, seeing clearly colors from other teams, guys that got traded and stuff. It looks pretty out there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a fun thing to do where there's probably not a ton of cards out there, and it's probably fun to kind of like sift through and look for that specific thing. Right. Like imagine how much time that guy spends on ComC just scrolling and looking at cards. I mean, that would be a fun collection.
And when he's on Twitter and somebody suggests to him, "Hey, would you see this one?" and shows a picture of it, you're like, "Yeah, I'm going to get this right now. Like I'm going to find this right now and get this." So probably like a $1 card, but he's like, "I need this card," and then it goes on a quest.
Yeah, definitely,
absolutely.
Okay, I had a number of people that like to collect specific serial numbers. A lot of them had to do with their birth date or the year that they're born or the year that they graduated. One guy in particular, he said his birthday was September 25th. So he always looked for serial number cards that were 9 of 25. Yeah. I mean, all kinds of ways you could do serial numbers.
Right.
Especially nowadays. I mean, I don't know if you could do that if you collected cards back in the 90s and 2000s because it was like something was numbered to 100 or 1,000 or whatever. But nowadays, you have all sorts of options that you can figure out. I'm 9/15, my birthday, September 15th. So there are plenty of cards that I could partake in. But that's definitely an ultra modern collector because it's very tough to find stuff that low serial numbered from 10, 20 years ago.
That's a little more expensive than the last one. Could potentially be a little more expensive, but also like some of the numbered stuff isn't super expensive either. So you can still do that at a relatively decent price. I think like that's
and it depends on who it is. I mean, if he collects a specific player with that specific serial number, or if it's they collect any 9-25 or 9 out of 25. That's what I was wondering when I saw that one on Twitter. What, like, if he collects a specific player, if he just sees something that's that serial number, he just picks it up.
Even if like you have a favorite number or something, like I've always liked the number 22 for whatever reason, but like it'd be cool to have a collection of just cards that were numbered 22 out of whatever. So you could probably amass pretty big collection if you did stuff like that.
So if you have a collection like that, you display that by turning the cards over, right? So see the back
where
wherever the number is where it
the
is.
player doesn't matter, just the number.
The ultra modern stuff generally has it on the front.
Yeah. All right. There's another guy on Twitter, TJ Valikak. Sorry if I messed up his name if he ever sees this.
Did.
But he originally started collecting in 1978. Topps was the first set he remembered collecting. So he had already put a set of that together, but now he's collecting miscut cards from the 1978 set and trying to put a set together, or ones that are like really damaged, like fuzzy corners, like totally mangled fronts. So he's trying to put together sets of bad condition of that set that he loves.
Love it.
That's so a fun one.
Yeah, that's a true set collector right there.
Yep.
You know, because they don't, and the miscut thing is its own thing because you yourself, Mike, you had a really wildly miscut Tom Brady press pass rookie card that someone bought. I mean, you sold it. I mean, clearly someone wanted that. And there is a whole market for that whole miscut thing. There is this whole subculture of people who love miscut cards.
And I love that he's got this set that is his set that is like the pristine. It's probably not pristine, but it's his set that is like put together nice and whatever. And he's collecting this other set that is the not nice version of it. Like
here's how it should
bizarre
look.
Sets, you know what I mean?
And here's how it does look, kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yep. Okay, another Twitter user, Greg Connolly. he collects cards of athletes that are signing autographs. Pretty unique
in the card.
Yeah, the picture on the card is the player signing an autograph.
That's got to be pretty limited. It's kind of like the first thing we had talked about with the hockey uniform thing. Yeah, I'm trying to think of. I've definitely seen them.
Did we ask if he has any auto cards of people autographing cards?
You've got to do that.
That would be, if you find one of that's like, they got to be the grill, right? That's the grill card.
Yeah, definitely. That has to be, right?
That would be awesome.
All right, next one on the list. We have, I can't even say this guy's name, but I apologize. His name was Justin, but he collects cards with funny pictures on them. I forget what the card was he showed, but it was an older picture, and the guy was just making the goofiest face and pose.
There's so much good stuff out there.
I know, it's a fantastic piece.
Back when they did actual photography, instead of just cropping and pasting stuff onto a mosaic background, like the big bubbles that baseball players specifically will blow. I mean, I know a lot of people do that one. The stack sales, I sold it was a Jim Kelly card, I think, but he was being sacked by Reggie White. I'm like, well, why would that be someone's card? Them getting sacked would be, and people love stuff like that, just that oddball stuff.
Well, some of the cards too, I'm guessing he has, there are some like 80s baseball cards and 90s baseball cards where people look unreasonably angry or unreasonably happy, and they're just like a portrait photo, but for some reason they seem unreasonably happy, unreasonably or they seem like they're under the influence of something. But there are a lot of those kinds of cards out there too that is really
Daryl Strawberry cards or something. Is that what we're?
I don't think he has any cards where it looks like that, but I'm talking like people where like you're like, what is going on with this person? This person's photo, or they have a really awesome mustache or whatever. There's a lot of really awesome stuff out there.
A mustache collection would be a great.
That would be a good.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I wonder if this guy's collection started because of the Billy Ripken bat knob card. There's some people who probably collect just random stuff like that. That would fall into this, right? I mean,
I think of that mid-90s Brett Favre card with the cheese head on too. Do you remember that Pinnacle card?
I do remember that one. Yeah. Was that Select maybe or Pinnacle? One of those?
I think it was Pinnacle. Might have been Select, but yeah. Good stuff. Joe, you brought this up, but Twitter user Kristen said cards of baseball players blowing bubbles. That is a big one. That's a pretty popular one. But yeah, there are a lot of those cards out there too.
And I still see them, ultra modern stuff, ironically, or surprisingly, I should say. I still see that.
There's a Griffey card where he's blowing a bubble too.
Yeah,
right?
that's a very popular.
Don't remember which one it is, but yeah. Okay, where are we at here? We have the blue collar card collector. He collects in bulk cards that have sentimental value to him from his childhood. For example, he has over 300 Roger Clemens 1988 Topps All-Star cards.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So he has certain cards that he has sentimental value to, and he tries to collect as many of them as he can.
And I feel like that is like, he probably got those for free, for free, right? Like $1. Just pay shipping, please. I'll send all of them to you, please. Because I mean, 88 is just not a huge.
I'm trying to. I saw that. And I'm trying to think of I randomly think Mike Tomczak's rookie card with the Bears. I think might be the one I would buy in bulk. That would be like a super cheap card that you could probably buy hundreds of, or someone would just give you if they have it. I mean, he was a Steelers backup, for those of you who are wondering why I like Mike Tomczak. But EP, is there someone you would like, one card you would think of collecting like that?
I mean, if I did that, it would be a player who is not super popular,
right?
But I was thinking more when I first heard this, we're thinking more in terms of like 1990 Donruss. Like I've told the story about this before. Like first ever $20 I made in my life, I spent to buy an entire box. A hobby box at the time, wax packs, 36 packs, and the greatest time opening all these packs. And just like the 1990 Donruss, like I just pictured like having boxes and boxes of it just because, and like not wanting to sell it because it's 1990 Donruss. You know what I mean? Like that's what I thought of when I saw it.
Well, come to think of it, I just showed you this. Terry Poole was my favorite player as I was a kid. Maybe I should start collecting some 87 tops. Like, how much is that going to cost me? Like,
right.
That'd be really cool. Just maybe we should do that. We'll have a little competition. We'll each pick a random player, and then over the course of the year,
and it's not
over the course of the year, we will see how many we can accumulate of that card. How about we do that?
Of that one card.
Of one
card. One year, one card.
I like it.
And whoever has the most at the end of the year is the winner.
We'll put some stakes on this. Like the winner gets something.
We will.
We get stakes.
We'll figure out the stakes. Yeah,
yeah, we'll make stakes.
Cooking stakes. Well, that's great. We end up with a new competition here. That's pretty awesome. Okay. Twitter user Toy Squatch. Interesting name. He collects cards with the Gatorade or Pepsi logo in the background on the card.
I love it.
Not sure why Gatorade and Pepsi might be his thing. I don't know, but that's pretty cool. That's something like a lot of different ways you could go with that too.
There are a lot of 80s cards with like cigarette companies and beer companies in the backgrounds that and some of them were like later airbrushed off. So like some of them can be kind of rare, kind of difficult to find.
They're not, still not worth. Fleer Randy Johnson is one of them.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think there's not like a huge difference in price, I don't think, but still it's something a lot of people chase for those that early the 80s and 90s of
product placement.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. There was another user who collects basketball cards with pictures of the ref in the photo.
I love that too.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I've heard of that too before. Yeah. I mean, and remember they used to make ref cards. Like I want to say Pro Set would make.
Pro Set had.
They had football referee cards.
Referees in their cards. Yeah. That's a fun one because I mean, and you might be talking about one of these coming down, but like the LeBron and Kobe card to get like people like other things beyond the player that they're collecting in that card. I just think it's a really cool, very specific way to collect. I dig that.
And again, there's a lot of potential for cards that are inexpensive. So it's a set where you can pile up a huge collection and be very proud of it, and so much of this hobby is, as I've said in a couple episodes, so much of this hobby is so expensive. But when you have something like that, like that's awesome to be able to put together a set like that with relatively cheap, inexpensive.
And it's translatable to all the sports. Like you can do umpires, you can do football referees. Yeah.
And
that was pretty cool.
It's difficult. I bet you it's more difficult nowadays than it was back when we collected, because a lot of the stuff is just like you're cropping out the player and putting them on top of a silver background or a mosaic background or whatever. You need those full bleed photography type cards to do stuff like this. I would think with the ref especially.
Yeah.
I had a thought, and I really hope somebody leave a comment, please. If you see this and you know of this, please let us know. Is there a photo of a home plate umpire like punching somebody out like really ridiculously and like overshadowing everybody else on the card? Like if there is
That'd
one,
be
I
great.
want to get it.
Yeah,
I want to get it so bad. Like I'm just like
or like the ref and the
manager,
or the umpire and the manager yelling at each other in the background as the pitcher is just standing there for his card.
And the guy's running the bases. So much potential there. Yeah, that's great. Love it.
All right. Had a number of people that say they collect players from a particular state. So I know one guy said Wisconsin, another guy from Iowa, and they like to collect players that were born in the state that they're in.
I like that. Are you going to talk about college stuff at all, Mike? I'll reserve my comments.
No.
So kind of similar but different. If I'm going to collect a player from Pitt, I'm going to collect them in their Pitt uniform. So, I'm strictly a Pitt guy. This kind of falls into that. There's, maybe they're only collecting people from Pennsylvania, which is pretty cool. The one guy actually shared pictures of, he collects the state flag cards from Leaf, which are really neat, or maybe they're the license plate ones.
License plate,
the Bowman Chrome. The Interstate had the license plates on the back and things like that. So anything state related, college specific related, I'm a big fan of those.
Yeah, I love that. I've been a Pennsylvania resident for my entire adult life. We lived in New York for a number of years when my sister was born in New York. And, but like, I have a lot of pride in Pennsylvania. When I find out somebody was from Pennsylvania when they did X or whatever, or like, a famous actor or actress is from Pennsylvania or went to college in Pennsylvania. I feel a little bit of pride in that. So like I'm kind of a little drawn to this this collection. It's really cool.
The best Batman, as an aside, from Pennsylvania, Michael Keaton.
Really?
He's curious. Yeah, he's from this area. He's from out Pittsburgh.
I didn't know.
Yep,
Who knew?
There you go. So learn something new every day here on this podcast.
Yeah. All right, and the final one. This one's personally my favorite. People that collect cards of teams that no longer exist. The person who brought that up was specifically speaking about hockey teams, but like it's very transferable to all the sports. Like, yeah, just really cool. Like the Hartford Whalers are one of the big ones out there because come on, they're from Hartford and they were the Whalers. It's just ridiculous.
I own a Hartford Whalers card. You know, Mike, you gave this to me. Do you know who it is?
I have no idea.
Joe Day.
Wow, really?
Yeah, you gave that to me years ago. It was like a 95 upper deck, maybe. But yeah, it's Joe Day. It was a Hartford Whaler. I still have that card somewhere in my PC.
As an aside, there was a guy who said he collected players that had the same name as him. Yeah. So there you go. I got you started on that like 30 years ago.
I need to see a PMG of Joe Day. That would be kind of awesome.
That'd be awesome.
Sebastian Joseph Day is a lineman for the Rams and now the Chargers. So people say I should get his jersey because the jersey literally says Joseph Day on the back. But getting back to this one, it's like the Oilers. Imagine being the guy who started collecting Cleveland Browns cards and then they came back.
Right. Do you also have to collect? Wasn't the Ravens? Didn't they become the Ravens? Like, would you have to also collect Ravens cards?
No.
Who did they become?
They never became the Ravens. It was a different
team. Ravens are their own
team. The Ravens are the Ravens. They have no history.
So what was
the Browns' history stayed with the Browns. The Colts' history went to Indianapolis. The Ravens are technically their own team.
Okay.
According to history.
Okay.
But they are the Browns. They turn into the Ravens.
But if you depending on the kind of collection you are, like what about the Arizona Cardinals in the NFL? Like they've been the Cardinals,
St. Louis Cardinals, Phoenix Cardinals,
right?
That doesn't count.
They're just moving along. Like Rams cards, St. Louis Rams to the LA Rams or whatever. That doesn't count. But like the Oilers, they're a different
team. Supersonics in the NBA.
Supersonics,
that's a great one too.
Yeah, there's a bunch you could do with that across all the sports for sure.
Definitely. Well, I think that was a pretty fun little chat this week. Maybe
thanks to the viewers or thanks to your Twitter followers for giving us.
Yeah, that was fantastic conversation on there, and hopefully this will inspire some of the people watching this start a new PC, and I know it inspired a little competition between the three of us.
Yeah. And tell us down in the comments if you have odd collections and how you collect differently.
It's not odd, it's unique.
It's unique.
Oddball, whatever you want to call it. All right, guys, take care.
All right,
see you later, boys.